The Sonic cinematic universe is shaping up to be literal perfection. Literally everything I could ask for. Well, what if it was pixel art? On my never-ending quest to pixelate the world, my sights are now set on this little guy. Cute. Isn't it mad? We used to be so divided by these two, and now we have 4 Sonics to choose from. But this one holds a special place in my heart. So I want to show some love to the movies by redrawing one of its latest posters in Sonic Mania pixel niceness. So grab yourself some popcorn and a glass of orange juice and try not to reach through the screen, because here we go. Quick note, I recorded this before I watched the second movie, but I have watched it now, and I will review these films. Alright, and we're getting straight into it. I'm drawing this poster. That is kind of the newest one that came out right as I started. Honestly, I would have drawn this one, but it just wasn't out yet, unfortunately. But I really like this poster and I want to see what I could do with the characters up this close. Starting with Sonic, of course, and you can see the technique I'm using. I'm blocking things in, then I'm adding texture later to kind of blend things together. And really, it didn't take too much to kind of get a Sonic that looks half decent. It's already pretty good. But I'm not satisfied, there's still a lot to do. And I can tell you right now, the hardest part of these drawings is the kind of long quills that some of these characters have, because it's such a weird texture, you know. You don't want to make it too crowded, but you want it to look like it's meant to. And now it's Botnik's turn, looking like a painting by numbers here. But you can see he's slowly coming together now. And I have to say, with this one, I was kind of nervous. You know, it's a human being. So while I have you here, I felt like I would share some of my general thoughts about the second movie, since it's fresh in my mind. Spoiler free, of course. I know you didn't come here to be spoiled. I think I've made it pretty clear in other places that I really like the movie. Obviously it topped the first one. That's not saying much, but it definitely topped the first one. Trying out a weird texture for the head, not sure about that one. Doing hair in pixel art is actually very fun, and hair is definitely easier than like the spike texture that I was on about a minute ago. In the second movie, I'd say that my favourite things were the action scenes, which were plentiful, there were so many, and the areas, the set pieces, locations. Everything that had to look really good was really good, and all the action scenes that had to feel impactful and energetic, they just felt really good. Goggles were looking a little bit too 8-bit, let's bring them up to like 32-bit, I guess. There is a lot of intricate details in these. Down here I did a kind of a stubble texture, you know, it's just kind of grainy, and it works pretty well. Wow, when else have you seen 3 big smooth arcs of hair coming out of someone's forehead?
Why Hi, it's Amy Rose, of course.
Oh, wait. Forgot about that one. So just a minute ago I said that the hair was easier than the spikes, but I'll say the short fur that Tails has was an extreme challenge to get right. And you'll see I'm kind of putting it off right now, but I spent a lot of time trying to get it to look right. You've got to pay extra attention to the arcs of hair as well, it's important. Can I please just take a moment to kind of recognize how lucky we are that this is actually happening? Like at first I thought we'd get something like this kind of vibe, and then when the freaking design came out, we thought it would look like this. But it ended up looking amazing, and especially when you consider how often do sequels get better than the first film. That doesn't happen often. I'm just so thankful to everyone that made this happen. I'm really happy to be doing Maniafied again. As good as this is, I know we need to get back into Maniafying some games soon. So 3,000 likes and I will Maniafy Sonic CD. Finally. I'll be redrawing these. Yeah, you know that'll be good. So in this movie, there's definitely a lot of things that made me go, what? Excuse me? What just happened? And I'm not going to say them all right now because I do want to make a review video, but they involve Tails, they involve Knuckles, and they involve the Emerald. Just some weird things, just some very strange implications, and just strange things that just happen all of a sudden, and you're like, wait, what? Okay. Now it's just kind of making sure everything looks perfect. I realized I forgot Sonic's body, so that's what I'm doing next. There was a reveal at the end of the movie, of course. A lot of people were starting to walk out of the cinema before that even happened. Ha! I was sitting there proud, knowing that that was going to happen, knowing that they were missing out. No, I actually felt bad that they didn't know. Anyway, if you know, you know, and it's interesting. I know why they chose to do what they did, but I will, in my video about the movies, explain why I think a different choice would have just made more sense. Alright, we're on to the Space Porcupine.
I am an echidna.
Ow! Okay. Jeez. Some people would call this tracing. Well, you know what I call it? Okay, it's tracing, you got me, but you'll see how long this took me even with this method. And really, if you think about it, the shading and the style is all me, baby. And that's what matters, right? He had a very smooth muzzle, face, mouth, whatever you want to call it. It was the smoothest of all of them, but that's definitely contrasted by the amount of long spines on his head, which is going to be an extreme challenge. Yo, I really hope Jim Carrey comes back to be in the third movie. Like, obviously the movie was great even with the parts that he wasn't in, but my interest would definitely take a dip if Robotnik isn't in the film. I don't know, I think I was just so invested in his continued decline and evolution. And the Sonic movies without him and Agent Stone interacting, that's the best part, you kidding me? Just finishing touches for the characters now, and then I can move right onto the background, which is pretty hype. Lastly, I wanted to kind of fix the shading on Robotnik. You know, there just wasn't enough shade for his big head, so yes, I added a couple. And how could I forget his clothing? Yo, I love drawing disembodied heads, apparently. So yeah, I finally get that done. And now we're on to the background at last. So right from the start, I already had an idea of how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to shade it, what it's going to look like, kind of like an interpretation of the actual thing. So I'm adding lots of long streaks to kind of give the impression of like, I guess, a beam of light. That's kind of what it is. And then I give it this kind of line shading, kind of dithering, but not quite. I think it keeps it looking clean and sleek. And then on another layer, I'm drawing this lightning so I can give it shading and everything it needs without getting confused. Kind of looks like Tails is having a nosebleed there, dang. Obviously, like I said, I will make a proper video talking about the movies at some point. And I may even talk about some things that actually relates to content on this channel and my expertise, if you will. So be excited for that. And I'm going to brighten up the edges of the characters because in the actual poster, the edges are kind of edge-lit, so make sure that looks the same here. And now it's time for the logo. This is the last thing I'll be doing. The letters are kind of pillow shaded inside. And then they have these streaks. And there's also this after image that kind of blends out. And I was pretty proud of myself here, kind of writing the hedgehog with such small text, but you can still read it. And that's it! That is everything! Okay. So here's the original poster in all its glory. I love this poster, it's amazing. And here's the pixel version, the manified version. You know, and I know it's my pixel art, but there's something really charming about seeing this poster in pixel art. Because I suppose it's like if we got a game based on the movie in a Sonic Mania kind of 2D style, this would be the title screen. Oh man, I wish. That would be cool. And there we go. This drawing took 6.5 hours. I love doing this. This definitely came out better than I'd hoped. The movies are so great. I love the cast. I absolutely love these designs. And I'm happy to have been able to recreate it in some way. If you want more Maniafied, you know what to do.